You're listening to the Agony Column News Report featuring interviews, phone interviews, reports from live book events and festivals, and conversations with readers. You can find additional news, interviews, book reviews, and more 5 days a week at the Agony Column website at trashotron.com/agony. I'm speaking with Roz Kaveney. Her newest novel is Rituals, Rhapsody of the Blood, Volume 1. Thank you for joining me, Roz.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for having me, as it were.
I'd like you to tell us a little bit about your experience of the fantastic as a writer, how you decided to use it, and why.
Well, as you probably know, I'm primarily been known as a critic and scholar in the field. I worked quite closely with John Clute and John Grant on the Encyclopedia of Fantasy. In fact, a lot of the subject headings for the Encyclopedia of Fantasy were the creation of me and John Clute over weekly meetings where we consumed vast quantities of red wine and went, Pariah Elites, The Wager Lost by Winning. And so I spent the early 90s thinking a lot about the tropes of fantasy. Now, at that point, I was working on the Midnight Rose books because I'd been asked by Penguin to edit some anthologies because of the anthologies I'd already edited. And I put together the Midnight Rose Collective with Neil Gaiman and Mary Gentle and Alex Stewart. And the consensus was they'd work with me as long as I did some writing because they'd read some of my non-genre fiction, which has never been published, and said, you've got to do some more writing and you may as well start writing genre material because you've got a chance to publish some. So back in the early 90s, I published 5 novellas in those anthologies and a couple of short stories elsewhere. And it was informed by the fact I was doing a lot of critical writing, I was doing a lot of reviewing, I was working on the encyclopedia. Then, for various reasons having to do with my involvement in politics, I was very involved in civil liberties politics in most of the 90s, I stopped doing much writing till the early 21st century, when I got involved in doing a lot of media criticism and did the book on Buffy, the book on science fiction film, and the book on fantasy film, which I will at some point deliver.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?